Welcome to this next lesson that's going to teach you about pre-populating parameters for SAP fields. In this demonstration, I'm going to cover how to pre-populate fields that are frequently and consistently used within an SAP system to save you from having to fill them in every single time you see them on your screen. Let's start by accessing a transaction you want to set up with pre-populated fields. Now I'm going to run fsp0. So in this transaction, I want to use the GL account code as a pre-populated field. And to begin with, let's use the match code functionality to find the GL account code I want. So just click the drop down button. Then I'll just go straight ahead and click the continue icon to bring up a list of GL account codes. And I'll choose the second one we see, the 113000. Selecting this entry brings the value back and places it into our GL account field. And now I've got this value, I'm going to remember it to be used later on. Now the next step is, once this field's highlighted like it is, press the F1 key on the keyboard to call up the Performance Assistance Help window. This just gives us a brief description of what the GL account code is used for, but we're not interested in that. What we want to do is click the Technical Info button that's on the small toolbar at the top of this window. Now the next window that comes up might look a little bit complicated, but don't worry, we just need to focus on one field. And that field is the parameter ID. Nearly every field in an SAP system has a specific parameter ID. And this is what we use when we want to pre-populate these fields. So in this case, the ID is SAK. And having identified this parameter ID, it's time to go back to the initial screen to set up the pre-populated field for our GL account code. So just close the two pop-up windows and then press the back button to get back to the SAP Easy Access menu. Now once we're here, you need to select the System option from the menu. Then navigate to User Profile and then select Own Data. And this is where we can set up all sorts of parameters that we can use for pre-populating fields. So in our case, we want to enter the parameter ID that we saw on the previous help screens. That's SAK. And then in the parameter value field, we also need to enter the parameter value we want to be pre-populated in our GL account code. And if you remember, that value was 113000. And that's really all there is to it. So next, just click the Save icon and just watch at the bottom of the screen where the status bar is to make sure the system confirms your record has been saved. So now your GL account code parameter field has been set. You can go back into the transaction that we looked at previously to check that it all works. So once again, I'll enter transaction FSP0 and click the continue icon. And there we have it. Our GL account code has been pre-populated. I'll step back and come back to the SAP Easy Access menu. Now from that short brief tutorial, I'm sure you'll realize you can now set up as many parameters as you wish. So you could use this for setting your sales organization field, your company code, or maybe even your cost center or profit center fields. This concludes this demonstration of how to set up pre-populating parameter fields in SAP. It's a great way to save time on running transactions you use on a regular basis on an SAP system.